Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day to start things off. We spoke a couple of days ago, it was actually I think about 2 days ago at this point, that stock markets around the world had started to move upward in anticipation that there was a possibility that number 19 had started to fade and or move away. As it stands right now, that is seemingly not the case in many places around the world, and as such, stock markets have actually taken a hit, if you kind of want to say that, as I think the reality of the situation kind of came flooding back all over again. So, as it stands right now, stock markets are down. The cryptocurrency prices are also not down, but they are also down as well. I assume... And I mentioned before, I think any real ideas of things getting back to normal within the next week or two are completely out of line. It's not going to happen. And even in most cases, when you actually look at the actual impact of everything that's been going on, especially within the traditional economic financial market, this is going to be taking place for a very long time. This is sending shockwaves throughout the entire industry. And this is why we've seen such dramatic, I'll say, movements within both markets. At the same exact time, it says Ethereum's price fell by around 1.5%, but may soon rise as ETH 2.0 upgrade gets closer. Though Ethereum's price is falling now, many traders think that a massive rally is underway. As Ethereum 2.0 upgrade is getting closer, Ethereum's price has fallen by 1.27% in the past 24 hours. This comes as the new upgrade to ETH 2.0 is just around the corner. Current price levels are 168, give or take a dollar or two. Have made many, or everyone, I'll say many, believe that Ethereum holds promise and may do even better in the markets this year. The first fundamental thing to change for Ethereum this year would be the shift to proof of stake. This shift creates a new scenario for the world's largest second cryptocurrency. Apparently, I think it says it's somewhere around here. There was a interview. Apparently, Vitalik reiterated once again that Ethereum 2.0 is close. The news that we had before a couple of months ago was that the schedule was for July. I'm not expecting any real movements until the end of May, beginning of June, mid-June, somewhere around this time frame. We need like an actual date that this is all going to take place. We spoke about this before in the last video. It's one thing to say that you're going to release something, but the actual release of said thing, like an actual date, is very important. So this may also be a reason why Ethereum hasn't been like dropping. I think if we had any indication that Ethereum 2.0 phase 0 wasn't going to happen until sometime next year or summer next year, I think we'd be seeing $120, $110 Ethereum, if not potentially going lower. It says global hedge fund expects Bitcoin to hit 8,000. Here's why. Without having to really read it to you, we are incredibly close to the halving right now. We are closer than we've ever been before. I think we are 35 days away at the current date. A lot of people, remember one of the huge topics of 2018, and I want to say the very beginning of 2019, was that many people had left the Wall Street space, if you will, and had flown into the cryptocurrency space, and they had all noted that they said they liked the idea of crypto better. I assume a large part of it has nothing to do with the decentralization. I assume many people who are just trying to make billions of dollars could care less about decentralization. A lot of it comes down to the volatility of the cryptocurrency market, but I assume over the course of the last 2 years, a lot of these people have been accumulating massive amounts of cryptocurrencies. So this is why, I mean, a portion of probably their belief that the markets are going to go back up, why they think so at least. But I think the other part is actually, I mean, that other guy as well, I don't have it in this video. The other guy, Plan B, has also been talking as well, and he's been showing charts and all this other stuff, and apparently everything is still a go. Everything that we saw before, all of the, I dare not say predictions, analyses of the price and movements and stuff like that we had seen before apparently still hold true. Everything is still intact. And as long as demand, current demand, remains. And I think per day, I think we will be moving down to 900 Bitcoin per day. I think that's how much will be created around the entire world per day. As long as more people on the planet are trying to accumulate more than 900 Bitcoin per day, the price will then move up accordingly. But there are many people, even more than we had ever seen before. Especially it's also interesting to know that a lot of very rich people are kind of coming out of the woodworks. They're coming out of the bushes and they're like, hey, money, I believe in Bitcoin too. So let's see exactly how that ends up holding out, how it pans out as time ends up going forward. I don't think I've ever been more excited in my entire life. I think I've waited. It's been years for this one moment. I'm very excited about this halving and the next one. The one after that, of course, I mean, I'm not trying to rush 8 years into the future. But these will be the real tests. It's go time. We have a world that is crumbling economically. We have stock markets that are not doing well. We have governments that are printing trillions of dollars, pushing them into markets. Markets aren't reacting. We have governments who are talking about buying securities, equities, stocks, mutual, whatever, to try and keep them afloat. They're not reacting positively. And also the idea that we've had before, I think it was the International Monetary Fund or the BIS. I don't remember who it was. That this current situation could last anywhere from 6 to 12 to 18 more months as far as like the economic downfall from it, because we haven't even discussed the actual debt crisis situation that's happening around the entire world. So it's go time. If by this time next year, April next year, if we are still seeing indications that the world is still a little bit wobbly and Bitcoin hasn't gone over 20,000 or hasn't reacted incredibly positively to the fact that the reward has been cut in half and more people around the world are trying to buy it. Once again, 900 per day. Then yeah, but only time will tell. And also this, for those of you not looking at the screen, it says Disney stock is down 1.1%. Analyst says parks attendance may need 2 years to normalize. You all know what's going on, so I don't have to really explain in deep detail. The issue is a lot of people probably are not going to be going to amusement parks for a while. Even if things began to normalize and slightly got back to normal, I'm not going, my friends aren't going, and I'm sure many other people probably don't want to take their kids either, especially if the effects of this ends up rumbling on until the beginning of next year. It's very fascinating, and this is why I think whenever those, I don't care who they are, whether they're analysts from the cryptocurrency space or the traditional markets, talking about, yeah, I knew the market was going to go down. No one expected this. No one expected this one entity, if you kind of want to call it that, to really affect as many things as it's affecting. I read an article earlier, and it was, you know, like you read something and you wonder, like, why? Like, did they, who made you? The article was like, housing crash imminent because no one's looking at houses, and it's like, yeah, I'm not going to any housing viewings. I'm not shaking anyone's hand. Anyway, it's affecting a lot of industries. It's affecting the way that we see each other, hang out with each other, treat each other, and this is going to continue for a while. We're going to have a completely different world in 3 years. That's not a scary omen. It's just more of a realistic truth. I don't know. But yeah, on top of that as well, you can find these articles everywhere. It says Ethereum on cusp of explosive move after forming bullish formation. The idea, once again, is, or rather what I keep reading around, is that Ethereum keeps dipping, but it keeps falling around the same exact line. It's not going lower than this point. And apparently, I guess the uppage in volume for Ethereum exclusively has been relatively stronger than it has been before in the past, and therefore people believe that prices of Ethereum are going to move up. I still give it a while. I mean, it may happen in a couple of weeks. I doubt it's going to happen today. But once we get real confirmation, that I think is going to be the very big thing. It would be nice if everything played out at the exact same time as well. We get confirmation around Bitcoin's halving. Bitcoin is going up. The rest of the market's also following it. Ethereum, wait, his name's not Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin. Vitalik Buterin gives us news that Ethereum 2.0 is definitely going to happen. I don't think we're going to get to a 1,000 Ethereum anytime soon. But I think if we saw a push towards 20,000 again with BTC, we would definitely see the rest of the market react. Anyway, a lot of optimism throughout the entire market, regardless of any dips that we may actually see or any days or weeks that have downward price movements. Let's move on. Next up, in speculation news, in an interview discussing emerging digital payment technology, a lead executive at Bank of America praised Ripple as a partner. She noted Ripple's passage of the bank's compliance processes and praised its ability to deliver quality services. Julie Harris, head of global banking digital strategy, okay, made the comments on a podcast published by Bank of America. The conversation centered around the emerging payment options available for businesses and the increasing need for faster, more efficient methods. On this topic, Harris stated, "It's not about our platform and our capabilities. It's about you as a client and the infrastructure you have and the ability for us to integrate, whether that's with platforms and capabilities that we built on partnerships that we have with the likes of Ripple or Swift. These are fintechs that we're partnering with. They've come through all of our rigor of legal and compliance, and we're able to leverage our banking as a platform to deliver that to you." End quote. Harris did not give any further details on how the bank will be using Ripple. Given that she mentioned Swift in the same context, it is reasonable to assume that cross-border payments are part of the plan. There has been long speculation that Bank of America plans to begin using Ripple. Last October, Ripple confirmed that it had been working with the bank since 2016, yet only acknowledged that this was part of a pilot project. Last year, the banking giant hired at least one Ripple specialist, yet did not provide further details. Like I said, speculation. You can kind of connect the dots if you kind of want to do so. We've seen this a lot. We have not had a major tidal wave of news like we used to have before in 2018 and 2019 about new partnerships with Ripple or new people using XRP. However, there seems to be, who was the other? Was it the Bank of England? Bank of France. It was the Bank of something in Europe, who announced the usage of Ripple coins, as they said, and Ethereum coins as a way to actually send payments around the world. And now we have the other speculative part, Bank of America directly stating Ripple and Swift in the exact same sentence, while Ripple is, I think people think that Ripple is meant to be a competitor to Swift. I assume that Ripple will have no issue if they only take up 15 to 20% of the transactions that are flowing through Swift, that are then also running through XRP in the back end. So I wonder, for the sake of wondering, if and when we will ever have any proper clarification about these partnerships and exactly who is... There we go. I assume a lot of, what's it called? I assume a lot of NDAs are happening, non-disclosure agreements, of course. I mean, just because, I mean, I think it's very difficult for a bank to transition to the blockchain cryptocurrency space, and I think it's even more difficult for them to want to say out loud that they're doing it, because if you announce that you're using said partner and someone else decides to use it and they end up using them first and they end up making more money than you do, it's kind of like a pie in the face. I think everybody always wants to be the first to be able to do something or say that they've done something. But yeah, we keep getting these newses every so often from people that they are talking to, using Ripple, partnership, something with Ripple. I would like, if it leads up to something big and major, these are very big names who are talking about Ripple and XRP. It's just a matter of us finally getting the news as to exactly how that partnership is going to unfold. Yeah. Let's move on. Next up, a project to build a decentralized bridge between Bitcoin and Ethereum just received a multi-million-dollar boost. The Keep network says it has closed a $7.7 million funding round led by Paradigm Capital, an independent investment dealer led by Coinbase co-founder Fred Ersham. The private token sale also includes participation from Chinese venture capital fund Finbushi Capital and tech VC firm Collaborative Fund. Oh my gosh, what did I do? Among others. The Keep network allows users to store their Bitcoin in a secure wallet and convert them into a token that runs on the Ethereum network. Bitcoin holders can then take advantage of the many applications running on the Ethereum blockchain. For example, users can leverage the new token dubbed Tibitica, that is TBTC, as collateral for loans or trading on margin. To redeem their Bitcoin, users would simply have to exchange their Tibitica for BTC through the Keep network. Matt Luongo, former of the Keep network, says that Tibitica offers the best of Ethereum and Bitcoin. The hardiness of Bitcoin as a means of exchange remains while exploiting Ethereum's supercomputing feature. It's a lot going on in my brain. First of all, this would have many years ago been known as an atomic swap. The idea that, and we've spoken about this, it's been sprinkled across conversations. The idea was, remember I always, when I said in the last video, a lot of stuff was discussed many years ago within the cryptocurrency space. A lot of it hasn't come true. Was that in the future, like now this time, we'd be able to swap at least between the top 10 cryptocurrencies at will, back and forth, that we would have almost no need for cryptocurrency exchanges. I guess a lot of that part went out the window with all the financial action task force and cryptocurrency exchanges becoming banks. But the idea was that if at any point you wanted to swap between Bitcoin and Ether, you'd be able to do so by tapping a button on your phone or doing something on a wallet, and therefore it'd be like magic. It would just kind of happen. We have not had any discussions or any news about that in quite a while it may still be possibly worked on in the background. I haven't heard anything about it. So I guess that's kind of the idea about this, is that a link or being able to swap between them relatively easily through the Keep network will allow you to do so. Not really much more to the news than that. I mean, it does tie almost directly into the thing that we're going to talk about, but this is now a new huge I don't know. It seems to be a returning discussion. I'll just show you the next thing. Vitalik Buterin, the co-creator of Ethereum, recently expressed the desire for a trustless and serverless swap between Ethereum and Bitcoin and vice versa. He said, "It's embarrassing that we still can't easily move between the two largest crypto ecosystems trustlessly." Yeah, because this has been promised for years, and a lot of stuff that's been promised has just not happened. In less than a fortnight, developers at Suma have come up with an open source cross-chain swap system. Suma offers private, self-enforcing, and self-settling cross-chain contracts which are trustless and non-custodial. They use the Bitcoin, some letters missing. Use the Bitcoin full node implementation built with JavaScript, C, C++, Node.js, which helps in the trustless integration with Bitcoin. The Suma Relay, currently available for Solidity, provides a link with Ethereum and the swap system. There's a thread code right here, right there as well. Moreover, the team is working towards the interoperability of other crypto chains as well. The lead Bitcoin and cryptographic experts working on the systems were mentioned in the tweets as well. I'm not reading all of those names out. Bitcoin and crypto markets are strongly intertwined in terms of price correlations because Bitcoin is a gigantic magnet. Moreover, as the systemic risk is higher, they tend to lose or gain higher than Bitcoin in a trending move. The discussion has been, depending on how you want to look at it, that in the future, if you walk into a store and this store only accepts Bitcoin and you are only the holder of Litecoin, you can go, okay, that's fine. Take out your phone, tap once, you've converted everything to the currency of choice, and you're then able to do so. The idea was, if we enter a future where certain countries do take or do not take Bitcoin, you'd be able to swap back and forth between your money as you kind of needed to see fit. Atomic swaps, kind of got the idea. Apparently, this is now a thing once again. I would like to see this catch on. I think it would be great because it also leads a way for you to be able to, the idea was like with an actual atomic swap, like you would get the actual other coin. So it would be nice if during an instant you could swap between any coin that you kind of wanted to use or trade without having to use a third party. This is why the trustless and non-custodial are very fascinating in this instance. Not having to trust another party is incredible. Being able to do so by yourself is incredible. Being able to hold your own money by yourself without having to have a third party validate your transactions is incredible. So it seems that we have two proposals, a lot of funding, swapping back and forth. It's just a matter of these actually being implemented. I am fearful isn't the word. I think a lot of things within the cryptocurrency space have been squashed into oblivion, not saying these things. But when it comes down to regulations, you can't really have things like this, especially in many countries when swapping between two cryptos is a taxable event. Yeah, so these things would definitely have to be done by people Satoshi Nakamoto like, who just kind of in the shadows. But yeah, if we ever do end up getting private transactions between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then these swaps are kind of like an everyday thing you can just kind of download from an app, yeah, that's going to be absolutely insane. Here's the actual tweet from Vitalik right here. And yeah, let's move on. Next up, although the Bitcoin hash rate has increased by 33% in the last 48 hours, the mining industry still faces uncertainties. This has left Bait, that is B-A-I-T-E, mining pool, one of the top Chinese pools, with no choice but dropping out of the mining race. According to local blockchain media on the 6th of April, Chinese mining company Valar Hash's Bait mining pool, weird names, hash rate decreased significantly from 4,000 to 200. Wow, 4,000 to 200 petahashes per second earlier in March. The pool decided to leave the Bitcoin mining business and possibly move into altcoin mining in the near future. Valar Hash launched two Bitcoin mining pools, Byte Pool and 1T Hash, along with Bitcoin cloud mining platform 1T Mine and mining farm management software Nelson in July last year in China. Byte Pool and 1T Hash reportedly accounted for over 9% of the total Bitcoin hash rate. These two things had 1/10 of all the entire Bitcoin hash rate. While 1T Hash currently ranks number 8 as of press time, it's likely that Byte Pool will transfer the majority of this leftover hash power to 1T Hash, was said during the report. What we are getting, and no one knows for certain sure, is that apparently matters of 19 within other parts of the world are apparently causing people to shut off their machines. Who knows the exact reason why? The issue is that we've had before, and we've spoken about many other times, is that a large majority of the Bitcoin mining hash rate lies within China. We spoke about that about 3, 4, 5 months ago, and we spoke about that in 2017, in the beginning of 2018 as well. We knew that I believe there were 1 or 2 mining pools that accounted for, I think it was over 51% of the Bitcoin hash rate. 2 places. Bam, 51%. So we've seen these, I don't even want to use the word monopolies, these large entities kind of separate is more so the word. It was it, I think Bitmain was one of them. It was BTC.com was another one. And what was the third one that was also like the super large one? The news that we had from Bitmain was that apparently last year when prices were going down, that they were selling off their Bcash and their Litecoin in an effort to keep the lights on. or so the story and legend goes. But I assume this is causing a lot of the downward movements that we've seen in Bitcoin's hash rate has probably taken place with a lot of people who were maybe in just these situations. The price of Bitcoin hasn't gone up as they expected it to, and therefore they've been unplugging their machines. So yeah, I mean, this is why it's rather important to not have 51% of the hash rate in just one country. We don't get, I mean, when people make new mining mountains, I don't know, what do you call these huge, gigantic warehouses where they have 50,000 machines mining crypto? Many of them are not going to make the news just because so they can't be found kind of thing. But we had indications that there was going to be one in Texas, I think one in Alaska, one in a couple other places. So yeah, let's hope that this actually, you know, more people actually, I mean, it's difficult to mine Bitcoin, but you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's the Bitcoin hash rate falling news because the world is going through stuff right now. And to finish things off, on Tuesday, digital asset exchange Bitfinex announced the launch of its staking rewards program, which allows users to earn rewards by holding funds on the exchange. This is now the 5th or 6th major exchange that is actually finally announcing that they're going to be doing this. In a press release shared with Crypto Globe, Bitfinex, which was founded in 2012 and is based in the British Virgin Islands, said that this program would allow Bitfinex users to earn staking rewards as high as 10% per year. Bitfinex also mentioned that the staked crypto assets will be held safely, utilizing Bitfinex's secure in-house crypto custodian. Can you imagine if they were like, it will not be safe, your money's going to get, like, it's nonsense that they always have to say these things. I guess it does calm the mind for many people, but can you imagine if Binance was like, yeah, we have crypto staking, it's not going to be secure, it's all going to be in a hot wallet, it's all going to be on one computer, and here's the password for it. And that the staked digital token is delegated by the exchange, meanwhile that the tokens remain in the platform's control, secured in the same manner as other tokens. Paulo Ordoino, the chief technology officer at Bitfinex, had this to say: "We're committed to engaging our existing users in the wider community with new products and innovations," and doesn't really care. Bitfinex says that this program launches initially with support for the following coins: Cosmos, which will have a 1.5 to a 3% return. V Systems, I know you never heard of it, and don't say you have. There's always that one person like, I know what V Systems is. You've never heard of V Systems. V Systems will have an 8 to 10% return. Sure. And EOS will have a 0 to 3% return. I love making 0% of my money. I don't know if you've ever done that. It's really cool. You put your money somewhere, it's kind of not safe, and then you get 0%. Amazing. I love it. Support for Tezos should be ready by the 11th of May. And support for Algorand and Tron are coming soon. Staking rewards are paid out weekly to users based on a calculation of time and amount of digital tokens held by the user during the week. Cool. And there's no minimum token holding requirement. So that's also oh, and there are no fees. Good for them. That's smart. Remember, 25%. 25%. So Bitfinex has no fees, which they shouldn't, because they don't charge you fees to hold your crypto. So why should they charge you fees to do something that was already going to happen automatically on the network? The point is, cool, wonderful, awesome, can't wait for it. I'm probably not going to use it. I'm actually looking, I'm going to give it a year, a year or two. I like the idea, of course, of making money from nothing. And I am certain in the future I'm going to be using one of these platforms. I haven't decided which one. I'm waiting for more like stability, I guess is the kind of word that I'm going to be using. I will probably not be using Coinbase. 25%. I don't know why someone had an argument with me the other day. Why? Like, they said that Coinbase was the easiest one, so therefore the 25% fee is warranted. Kraken's also really easy. So's Binance. I've never used Bitfinex, but it's been around for 8 years, so I can only assume their platform also isn't garbage either. The point being, when we do start getting like really solid numbers, and I guess when more other altcoins are kind of added and stuff like that, I am extremely interested in being able to make anywhere from 3 to 4 to 5% on my Bitcoin per year, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7% on my XRP or Ether, or even the Cardano that I have. I think it's absolutely fascinating. Yeah, I don't know if I'm pretty sure I did. I was gonna say I don't know if I told you the story, but I'm pretty sure I have. Of how like normal people just have like dividend stocks and stuff like that, and how they make money from that. It's kind of the same exact thing, but I think the fact that we're seeing these staking passive income platforms explode across the cryptocurrency space, these things aren't going anywhere. I think people will become very accustomed to be able to make money from doing absolutely nothing, especially if we end up getting into the situation where I think one platform has like a 6% return for your Tezos or something like that. So imagine 6%, the value of Tezos goes up, you have $1 million, you are then getting $60,000 per year for doing absolutely nothing, and just on the off chance your Tezos should go up even more, you're still making. I mean, it's just all it's gonna get real really fast. That's all. I don't know how to really put that into other terms, because banks will not be able to match these things. Even all the other banks who are going to be custodying Bitcoin in the near future and or buying or selling, they're going to have to at some point offer the same exact services. I think that's going to be the real shift. I think a lot of people still don't get it. The fact that a bank would even mention, or 40 banks in Germany would even mention that they're even thinking of getting into Bitcoin. When these banks start saying, we're going to offer you 3, 4, 5% on your Bitcoin holdings per year, and at the same exact time, your return on fiat will be 0.1%, it's going to get real really fast. Anyway, good job, Bitfinex. If you're using Bitfinex and you have Cosmos, V Systems, or EOS, or Tezos, or Algorand, or Tron, well, there you go. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Yasha Harari, Moonman High XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Stoyer, Josh Corsica, Chongololo, Songololo, A Bibliophobia, The Animal Reader, John Sars, and Mr. Pickles, Nostromo, Barebones Mining, Todd Mullis, there we go. Adam Graysick, Mohammed Maroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Brady Nils, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Mill Weezy, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Nicholas Renault, One Piece, One Love, Damien Setsuna, Nick Kanai, Rishi Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Crypto and Biz Shipmate, Paxis, Nick Mangiala, Vori, Anthony Charles, Jim Garner, Jimmy Fox, Minting Coins, Millie, his chest every day, and Count Skips Leg Day, yes to Crypto, Buddy McButtface, Anytime Fitness, Monks Corner Staff, Arithmetic 17, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger, Machonista, on Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and hold on, I have to sneeze. You know what's really weird? I blacked out at some point when I was reading the names, and I was just reading, like, I remember the names in order. Like, I think I went cross-eyed. I don't know what happened, but I wasn't looking at the screen, and I kind of got everything. Thank you all very, very much for your support, for your continued support. You're awesome. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. You are appreciated. At the moment, the cryptocurrency market is down and up around the same exact time. Every coin had this little swoop around here. It looks like the market is trying to go back up. I don't really know. There are no real I mean, put it to you this way. When we get good news, the market doesn't go up. When we get bad news, the market sometimes pops up in price. So who knows what's going to happen next? I guess that's also part of the fun. It could be that the prices now are down a tiny bit. It's not like mega down numbers, simply because the stock market is down, and it could be fear across the entire way. Not everyone understands the fundamentals of blockchain or the fundamentals of Bitcoin or the idea of decentralization. We do have a lot of people who are in the market purely to make money. So I assume if they see someone else selling in this market, they're also going to sell in this market. And once again, just to reiterate, no one knows what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks, or if the cryptocurrency market is going to go lower. So Just a reminder, do not put any money into the market that you cannot afford to lose. If the crypto market goes to zero tomorrow, you should not shed a tear. Make sure you only have extra money that you are able to play with, that you put into the market, just as a reminder. I know not everyone will listen, but yeah, just know that. I hope you all enjoyed this really weird, sad, not sad, crazy, up and down kind of news Disney 2 years. 2 years is a long time. Can you imagine even if it was like a year that people just didn't go to Disney World? Going up a long time. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And yeah, I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.